Hello, everyone. This is Aaron from Third Eye. We'll be starting in a minute. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. We're just loading up right now. We'll be starting really soon. Okay, so as we set up, we'll screen share the X1 Smart Glasses screen so you guys can see some sample apps. We'll have that set up within, let's say, 10 minutes. We're just waiting for someone. So just to start off, thanks everyone for coming by. We'll have more people coming by as we go on. This is just to provide a brief overview of the X1 Smart Glasses platform. I'm a software developer here, and we just wanted to provide some more information. If you guys had any questions, and you guys emailed some questions to us as well. So just to provide some background, the X1 Smart Glasses, some of you guys we met at CES, and we've been going to various shows since then and been shipping our smart glasses since then. It runs on Android 7.0, so it's really easy to make apps. Some of you guys asked whether there was a customized OS you had to develop on. That's not the case for the X1. It's pretty much straight out of the box Android. There's some modifications you got to make, such as adjusting the screen size, making it into portrait mode. The camera orientation, some of you asked, the camera orientation is 0. Camera 0 on Android. But other than that, it's really easy to port apps. We found that people within less than an hour, they're able to port their apps onto the X1. So it's really easy to develop apps. It runs on Android 7.0. In terms of submitting apps, the developers have been submitting them into our app store. We have an app store on our smart glasses, and we also have our resellers application. So if you're a reseller, you can also submit your application, and then you can create apps. You can submit apps into our app store. Into our app store, you can submit it as a paid app or a free app. For a paid app, you get a percentage of the app price every time your app is downloaded. For a free app, then it's basically whatever ads or whatever your own development procedure is. So in terms of battery life, the X1 has a 2400 milliamp hour. And yeah, we'll get the, one of you guys just asked, we'll get this screen share up really soon. Just give us like 5-10 minutes. We're just waiting for one team member. We have about 400 milliamp hours. So I know some of you guys develop for enterprise use cases. So we have massive battery life. They're also hot swappable and replaceable batteries. So we tend to ship with multiple battery packs. So users can just switch battery packs in and out of the smart glasses, and they can use it for 24 hours, 48 hours straight, or however long they want to. So we definitely put a focus on some of these enterprise use cases, and battery life was one of the big concerns. In terms of field of view, we have field of view about 42 degrees. It's high definition. It's stereoscopic see-through. We have really high brightness, so it's usable in dim lighting and almost direct sunlight. You can still view the augmented reality content. So it's, in terms of viewing the AR content on the smart glasses, it's definitely viewable. Then in terms of the price point is $9.99 per smart glasses. We definitely wanted to make it affordable and as scalable as possible for developers. It has powerful CPU and GPU in there. It has a 13 megapixel camera. So I know a lot of you run image recognition applications. So 13 megapixel camera is really important for you guys. So that's a good advantage on our smart glasses. Then It runs on Android 7.0. In terms of transparency, it blocks out, the optics block out about 20-30% of light from outside, so that's why it's still very usable and you can view the screen, the content very clearly. In terms of compatibility with tracking SDKs, so it's compatible with SDKs, Vuforia, Cudan, Wikitude, Augmented Pixels, the common AR SDKs because it runs on Android, and it's not a customized version of Android, so developers are developing on these SDKs. We have about 300 developers so far in 20 different countries, developing all types of applications. And definitely one of the great feedback we got is it's very easy to make apps. It doesn't require a huge porting or customizing effort. And we're always looking to get more feedback from our developers. Our developer site is developers.thirdeyegen.com. And you can view all their information, questions. We have a forum, and for any of the hundreds of questions you guys have, you can definitely get answers there. Once the range of apps, so we are primarily enterprise-focused applications now because that is what the hardware is focused on. The hardware, it's passed ATEX, it's passed ANSI certifications for drop testing, eye safety certifications. So we have use cases in manufacturing settings, in industrial settings where the smart glasses are being used. We are always looking to see more types of applications being developed. We have games, entertainment apps, a lot of B2B, from healthcare to manufacturing to sports to all types of B2B verticals. Applications are being developed. Some core advantages for our smart glasses are the price point. We wanted to make it affordable for developers and still keep the major technical features. Field of view, we are but 42 degrees, high definition, so you can put a lot of AR content directly in the field of view of the user. Battery life, 2400 milliamp hours with hot swappable and replaceable batteries, which is important for a lot of your B2B use cases for developers. And it's no attached wires. It's all the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the batteries, the processing, everything's in the smart glasses on your head. So you can use a wireless Bluetooth controller for if you'd like, or you can make your app entirely hands-free if that's the way your application is developed. But there aren't any wires that come with the smart glasses itself. It's really portable and easy to take around. It weighs about 10 ounces, including the battery packs. If people who need to wearing hard hats, you're able to wear it with hard hats. We have construction use cases where developers use hard hats. We have use cases for people with glasses, eyeglasses. They are able to buy attached corrective lenses and attach them onto the glasses. So some people are able to wear the X1 on top of their eyeglasses, but others have to buy the corrective lenses. So it depends on the user. And we'll be up momentarily. So I'm just answering some questions we got right now. And then pretty soon we'll have this screen share up and you'll be able to see how some apps look, some different types of apps. But right now I'm just answering some of the questions you guys sent in. Let's see some of these other questions. How long can I use the glasses if I'm running a streaming app? So it depends on the app you're running, but because we have a 2400 milliamp hour battery life, we've found that people are able to run the apps for powerful apps like a video streaming app, for example, for 4 or 5 hours straight without having to recharge or unpack, replace. It depends on the app you're running, but battery side, so you don't have to keep charging, especially if you're running a powerful application. Good question. Next question. Can you do 3D tracking on the smart glass? Yes. So right now we have one 30 megapixel camera. So the 30 megapixel camera, some developers are using SDKs, six dot SLAM existing SLAM SDKs, or they're running their own applications that generate point clouds based off the camera, and then they're able to run their tracking applications off that. So it depends what you're using. We are compatible with many tracking SDKs because we just run Android. So you can easily port it into Unity and develop applications there. Or we have developers who create 3D point clouds, 3D overlays using our platform. And in our next version, we are implementing more depth sensing modules. But in our current one, X1, we have developers creating 3D scanning apps, 3D overlaying apps, content pegged to specific real world locations. So we have all types of apps being generated. What type of image recognition capabilities does X1 have? So this is also related to our camera system. We have a 30 megapixel camera, and all these specs are on our X1 spec sheet on our website. We also have a powerful GPU and CPU running on the X1, so you're able to run many threads and really optimize your application. Let's see. How is the heating on the X1? So I know this is one big concern for a lot of developers, especially if you're running a powerful application. How does the heating work? So we tested this. We passed all certifications, like FCC certification, CE, ATEX, ANSI, industrial certifications. In terms of heating, we developed some type of padding material and some other type of material to help it remain on your head for a lengthy period of time. We have users who use video streaming applications for over 3-4 hours straight wearing the X1, and they're able to wear it. And some parts of it obviously heat up, but the parts that touch the user's head do not heat up because we added padding. So we have developers and we have end users who are using it for 3-4 hours straight. And in terms of comfort, they're able to wear it for multiple hours. The majority of the use cases are 20-30 off, but we have users who've used it for 3-4 hours straight, and they haven't felt it's too comfortable. They haven't felt it's too uncomfortable. They've been pretty happy wearing it. Okay, let me see some other questions you guys have. Let's see. Does Visor work with the X1? Yes, Visor works. It's an Android device, so you can record connected to your laptop or connected to wirelessly connected. Either way works. So that's that. If I want to become a value-added reseller, what's the process? So many of our developers, they buy the X1, they add their application on top, and they resell to their own customers, mainly because of the price point of the X1. It's significantly lower than many hardware solutions, so they are looking for that platform. So to do that, basically just contact us on our resellers section of our website, and then one of our reps will respond about becoming an official reseller. So we have many software developers who are doing that right now, and that's a fairly straightforward process. So please contact us and we can get started on that. Oops. So yeah, we have a frequently asked questions page. So we have a lot of questions answered there. Once I think it's just charging up for a bit now, so it'll be up in a minute. Just going through some other questions, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. Let's see. What's the lead time for delivery if I ordered 20 headsets? That's a good question. So right now, the lead time for delivery is about 3-4 weeks. This can go down as well, and we update this on our website. We'll let you know if you reach out to us. But we try to have as little lead time as possible, obviously, and we want to get the product out as system for the X1. That's a good question. So we are setting up a loan right now. We are working through, I believe, our pre-orders for our next one. So we're shipping it out to people who placed orders. And I believe we are setting up a loaner program soon. So if you guys just want to test it out for a month, see how your apps work, you could do that. If you guys have questions about how your applications work, you can always submit it to our app store or send it to developers@thirdedgen.com, and one of our reps can test it out and provide feedback. We always want to have a good, close relationship with our developers, so we are pretty responsive about any questions about developing on X1. How many apps are in the Third Eye App Store now? So I believe the last time we checked, we had about 100 to 200 AR, MR applications in our app store. Our app store comes with our X1 smart glasses, and it's all types of apps, from games to B2B apps to a lot of apps that, frankly, we didn't even envision. But they're cool augmented reality, mixed reality applications developed. How accurate is the tracking using an SDK with the X1 smart glasses? That's a good question. So if you want to do tracking, tracking of the environment, positional tracking, we found developers are able to do it within 5 millimeters, using a couple fewer developers have their own proprietary platforms that they're using on the X1, and they found about a 5 millimeter accuracy on the X1 smart glasses. And I believe it's still really accurate if you want to use existing SDKs like Wikitude or Cudan or other popular tracking SDKs. They're all compatible with X1. So we have developers using all types of SDKs because it runs on Android, so it's very easy to import them into Unity and start developing tracking applications. But yeah, we found it's pretty accurate, about 5 millimeters for some of our 3D scanning and 3D overlay apps. But it ultimately depends on your own application and what SDK you use. But in terms of the hardware itself, it can definitely handle that. Can the X1 handle occlusion for tracking? That's a good question. So occlusion, that ultimately comes down to more to your own software. That comes down to your tracking, mapping out the environment, mapping out the obstacles, and then placing your virtual data. So I would say that's more software, but we have developers who have developed apps that take into account occlusion. So for example, they wear the X1, they walk by a door, the virtual object disappears, but when they go back inside the door into the room, they see the virtual object. So that is possible. That comes down to your own application. I'd recommend definitely checking out those SDKs that handle tracking, and also figuring out the best way to integrate that into your apps. But we're going to have some documentation up soon to do some of these sample applications for tracking. So we'll send that out to you guys pretty soon. Okay, yeah, we're 1 or 2 minutes away from screen sharing the X1. So just hold on tight for a couple minutes, and then we'll be showing a few apps on X1. Let's see, just a few more questions. Let's see. Do you guys have any code samples for how to use certain features of X1? Yes, we have it on our developers section. So just go to our developer section of our website and go to documentation. You'll see some code samples there. Is the X1 entirely hands-free, or do you need a controller to use it? So that's a good question. So for the user controls, moving the cursor, scrolling, typing, clicking, it's always an issue with these devices, finding the best way to do that. So we basically let developers choose whatever methods they want. In terms of the base controls, we ship with a wireless controller. So you can type, click, do all the controls using that. But within the apps itself, then it comes down to how you want to develop the application. Some use gesture controls. There are many gesture SDKs we have listed on our website that are compatible with X1. Some use voice controls, audio commands. We have microphones on the X1. You can capture audio commands very clearly, even in industrial settings. Others prefer the wireless controller because it's very easy to type, and it's just more comfortable for people who are used to a phone. So it comes down, and others prefer entirely head motion controls. If you want to just look at something and stare at it to function as a click, then you can do that. So it's ultimately comes down to you. But we do ship with a wireless controller to do the base controls. But there are no wires attached, so this is something you can just put in your pocket or uh, do. You don't need to be walking around with the wires. Basically, we made a conscious effort not to do that. Software platforms themselves. Yes, we have a few software platforms ourselves. Um, I believe a remote health platform or a ScanEye platform, but we are primarily hardware focused, so we are slowly shifting away from that. But we're seeing our software developer community rapidly expand. So that's why we are putting a lot of focus on making life as easy as possible for developers, because you guys are the ones who are developing hundreds of applications that for all types of use cases. So we want to really make life as easy for you guys as possible. We had a lot of developers switch onto our platform from other platforms. Main reasons being one, price point. You're getting similar hardware for a much lower price point, which is important for developers, especially if they're value-added resellers selling to their own customers. The hardware is really the latest hardware in terms of the optical design. Field of view is really powerful. And then the CPU, GPU, the camera, the battery life, all the specs we have listed on our product sheet are very definitely cutting edge. In our next version, we're adding to those as well. So we wanted to provide developers as powerful a platform as possible, but keeping the cost low. And we tried to find the best combination. We're getting a good response so far. I think we mentioned that we have about 300 developers making apps in all types of applications, and they can submit it into our app store and generate money every time their app is downloaded. And this is a really easy process. Or you could be a value-added reseller, which some of our enterprise software partners are doing. All right, so 1 second. Let me just see this. All right, so we'll be sharing the screen right now. We're just setting that up. Just hold on for 1 second. So it's really easy to make apps because it runs on Android 7.0 and it's not a customized version either. So it's very, very easy to make applications on the X1. We found developers within 30 minutes are able to port their apps from their Android phone onto the X1. In terms of ARCore and ARKit, that's any other Android platform is on smart glasses. So those two are two features that currently do not run, but in the future they may be compatible with the X1. All right, so I think we'll get up an image recognition app running right now. Let me just get the screen share up and then we'll be good to go. In terms of how many we've sent out, we've sent about 500 smart glasses out already in terms of people who placed pre-orders, and we're shipping out more as we speak. And we will be at major conferences. If you guys are at the Enterprise Wearable Tech Conference or other AR related conferences, we'll be there and you guys can try it out. We were also been placed into the beta stores in New York, San Francisco, and Austin, I believe. So if any of you are around those three locations and you want to hold it or try it out for a bit, you can go to those stores and try them out. All right, we're just a few seconds away. So just hold on for 1 minute and we'll be screen sharing. Just a few seconds away. But yeah, any questions you guys have, just send it to developers@thirdeyegen.com and one of our software guys will respond. We definitely want to make as quick a development time as possible and give you as much support as possible. And I know one big questions we're getting are the tracking capabilities, how it relates to HoloLens or other devices. So tracking SDKs are compatible with this. And in our next version, we'll have additional cameras as well. But we have developers who are making 3D platforms, 3D scanning applications on the smart glasses using existing SDKs or their own tracking software. So it is possible, and this GPU and CPU, GPU, and the processor and the camera system can all handle that. It weighs about 10 ounces. You can see a lot of pictures online, on our website if you just Google it. See a lot of people easily wearing it and walking around with it. We have people who wear it for hours straight and they're able to use it. Can I port HoloLens apps onto the X1? So that's a good question. So we have a lot of developers who switch from that onto the X1, and it's two different software platforms. X1 runs on Android, which is based on Java. HoloLens is Windows based. So there are software platforms that help port some of the code, but it's definitely Android based. So you have to create your app around the Android system. But within the Android system, it's very easy to port apps onto here. So it's as simple as putting into portrait mode, adjusting the screen size, and then boom, you're ready to go on the next one. You don't have to worry about customizing your Android APK too much just for this device. How does the Third Eye App Store work? So the third app store, similar to an app stores on your phone, your iPhone and Google Play phone. So the third app store comes with every X1 smart glasses. It has every app in our app store. And as a developer, you can submit apps into the app store by going to developers.thirdeyegen.com. And you can either list your app as a free app, for which a user doesn't have to pay, or a paid app, and you can put the price that you want. For every paid app, you get a percentage percentage of that price per every download. I believe it's 40%, 60% split. So that's how some developers are submitting their apps right now. And it's a one way to definitely submit your apps and not have to go through the reseller process if that's something you want to do. What is the price point? So the price points on our website, it's $9.99. Oh, guys, here, is it going to change? So the price point, we are not going to change that for the X1. It's $9.99 for anything. It could go lower, but we doubt that. So $9.99 is the price we are looking at for the X1. We wanted to keep it under $1,000. And I would say the response we're getting is it's a great combination for the technical specs it has, for the power of the CPU, GPU. And then with relation to this price point, it's a great match for developers. How many on the X1? So that's a good question. So it can run on 4 threads, and 4 threads, and people are able to develop 3D applications, 3D marker-based applications, markerless-based applications, scanning applications on those 4 threads fine. So we are looking for ways to optimize some of our firmware, but they are able to run the applications fine. Going through the last couple of questions, and we're just about a minute away from showing the actual smart glasses. What type of optics are on the smart glasses? We had pretty stereoscopic see-through transparent optics. So it only blocks out about 20-30% of light, and it's usable in different lighting situations. In terms of user comfort, it's comfortable if people are using it for 4 hours straight in construction use cases, for example, and they're able to create applications fine. And I mean, not create, but wear it fine. And we've adjusted some of our padding, some of our features from the initial ones to make it more comfortable. And we are getting a good response. How accurate is the 6DoF tracking? So the 6DoF tracking on this, in terms of tracking your XYZ movement and then your side movement, that is definitely pretty accurate. In terms of the movement, people are able to move at, I would say, 60 hertz, and it can adjust the screen environment based on your movement. So there's very minimal lagging. In fact, we have developers making gaming applications where you have to move your head at a really sharp pace, and there's no lagging in terms of the movement of the screen. So that's something we put a focus on, and we gotten a good response in terms of the applications being developed. Can we change the outer lens to make it a VR headset? So yeah, the outer lens, they're replaceable lenses. So right now we chose an outer lens for our optics, but this is a commonly sourced outer lens. So if you want to make it into a VR headset, you can choose a totally opaque lens and just pop these ones out and put the new ones in, and you can block out all the outside light. So about the connectivity, we have Wi-Fi. We have, as you mentioned, the latest processing chip in here, ARM based, so it can handle really mobile processing, and it can handle Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all in the device. It can connect to your phone as a hotspot if you're not in a Wi-Fi location. And we have tested application developers have tested applications, and we have seen developers create video streaming applications without just using their phone as a hotspot. And the streaming was fine, no lagging, no video lagging, no audio lagging. So just using Wi-Fi. Just using Wi-Fi, I've seen developers create video streaming applications without just using their phone as a hotspot. And the streaming was fine, no lagging, no video lagging, no audio lagging. So just using Wi-Fi. Yeah, so just using Wi-Fi, you are able to do any internet-based application. And yeah, we'll have the demo up really soon. It's just last minute of it's just charging up, but we'll have the demo up really soon. But yeah, you can use Wi-Fi, or you can connect to your phone as a hotspot, or you can use a mobile hotspot. In future versions, currently no smart glasses have a cellular chip in them, so that are all Wi-Fi based. But ours, we have definitely the latest processing chip, so we can handle Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connections, and you can connect to your phone as a hotspot. And you're able to run video streaming applications, all types of internet-based applications on them, fine with no lagging. So developers have tested this, and it's been working fine. We'll to show the demo. We're just getting this one, some apps running on this from some of our developers. In terms of the languages, you are able to. We have localized support for different languages. So depending on which country you're in, we can adjust the app's text to support that language requirement. In terms of our remote help app, so our remote help app is definitely our most popular app, and I believe many of our developers are also making applications like a remote help app that comes with our smart glasses in our app store. So it's as easy as going to our app store, downloading the remote help app, and then you can start using it. We show how a remote help app works in our on our website. Basically, you can wear the smart glasses, someone can see what you see, and live annotate and provide instructions. So this is big if you have remote workers for manufacturing, logistics, mining, things like that. So that's something that is definitely one of our most popular applications. We also have our ScanEye app, which we'll be demoing, which shows how to do a 3D scan of an object. Or that's a good question. So the ATEX certification it's passed is the Zone 2 Equipment Category 3 certification. So we have this being demoed and being used in some industrial certifications. It's passed ANSI Z87.1 impact eye protection, ANSI Z87.1 splash protection, ANSI Z87.1 D4 dust protection, and then the ATEX Zone 2 Equipment Category 3 protection. How do people with different eyesights adjust? Well, that's a good question. So people with different eyesight, because everyone's head size, everyone's facial size is different. So this is definitely a concern for smart glasses. So one thing we did for ours is we have an IPD adjustment, which we have videos showing this on our website, where you can adjust the IPD left, right, to the center depending on what your head size is. So people with thin head sizes or really wide head sizes, they can just adjust the IPD to fit their own head size. So it makes uh, it adjustable for your own head. And we haven't found an issue. This has worked for 99% of people. So we have not found any issue with this. And then people with glasses, they can attach their corrective lenses, and we have a link on our website to do that, as well as links in our forum for how people with eyeglasses can attach their corrective lenses onto the smart glasses. Do you have an audio jack, or is it just wireless Bluetooth? So we have both an audio jack and a wireless Bluetooth system. So say you want to connect directly to the audio jack, you can do that. Or if you want to use wireless earphones, you can do that as well. So both ways work perfectly. And it's really user friendly. All right, so I'm about to show this demo right now. I believe this is our first ScanEye platform. And I'll be looking at let me get a 3D object that is really easy to show. Let me get this mug right here. That'll be really easy to show. So this is an example of a 3D scanning platform on the smart glasses. So let me get this up and then I'll share the screen so you guys can all see what I'm seeing. All right, one sec. Almost there. All right, about to share the screen. So just hold on for a second. From doc. All right, so this is an example of the home screen you would see in the when you get the smart glasses. So, for example, you have your app store here, you have your settings here, similar to a phone. This is an application you download. So if you go to the App Store, for example, click on the App Store, you have an app here. So we have all types of apps. Very short. Some of these are from our software developers. Some of these are open source. Some of these, like a Third Eye Point of View app, is our own app. So you can download any apps from here that are AR, or they're all organized by categories. So games, entertainment, books, business, education, everything. So this is our app store here. Then we have, let me just show you this app right here. Let me make this full screen. View. Full screen. Okay, so this app, you can see it's a 3D scanning app from the X1. So what it does is it looks for points. So this is an example of a markerless-based tracking system. It's looking for point-specific objects. So if I hold my phone up, for example, it'll recognize points around specific objects of the phone. So this is one of the advantages of a 13 megapixel camera-based app, is it can really accurately track specific applications on the X1. So this is one of the applications. And let me get another application up pretty soon. Basically, specific points around specific objects. So the point for that app was to generate point clouds around specific 3D objects. So that's what that application would do. This advantage of a 13 megapixel camera and a powerful CPU, GPU is you're able to do those applications. Let's see. See, we got a bunch more questions just in. Whoops, let me exit full screen mode. So what's the latency and lagging like? So this is related to the previous question of the lagging. There's almost no lagging. So even if we have apps where you have to move your head very fast around and there's minimal to no lagging. We have apps where you're watching movies, Netflix, playing games where you move your head around, and there is very minimal to no lagging involved. How easy is it to submit an application into our app store? So the process, I would say, takes about 10, 15 minutes. It's even less than 10 minutes. If it's the first time, it might take a little long, but it's very easy to submit applications. As mentioned, we want to make life as easy as possible for developers. That's why we have a lot of developers switching from other platforms onto ours for these reasons. So we want to make submitting apps, creating content on this as easy as possible. And as you can see, we have all types of apps running in our app store. Life as easy as possible for developers. That's why we have a lot of developers switching from other platforms onto ours for these reasons. So we want to make submitting apps, creating content on this as easy as possible. And as you can see, we have all types of apps running in our app store. So the application we just showed was our a lot of developers switching from 3D application where you could see the point clouds being generated. So we want to make many apps creating content on this as speed as possible, and as you can see, we have all kinds of apps running in our app store. So it was our developer switching from 3D application where you could see the point clouds being generated. So we want to make big apps creating content on this as speed as possible, and as you can see, we have all kinds of apps running in our app store. So let me just see if we can show a couple other apps. So it was our developer switching from 3D application where you could see the point clouds being generated. So we want to make big apps creating content on this as speed as possible, and as you can see, we have all kinds of apps running in our app store. So this next app we'll be showing is our image recognition app. So let me just see if we can show a couple other apps. So it was our switching to 3D application where you can see the point clouds being generated. So we want to make big apps creating content on this at speed as possible. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I think the YouTube was lagging for a bit. Yeah, so we're getting another application up pretty soon. Running on this, we showed the first app we showed you was our ScanEye platform, on a revision of that where you can see point clouds being generated around different 3D objects. So say this is related to that markerless tracking, positional tracking, all those powerful AR apps. To do that, you would have to first scan your environment like that app did. Then within that environment, you can place virtual objects where they're supposed to be. And then you can move around, come back, and you can do all types of marker-based applications, which is basically what HoloLens does. So using existing SDKs, and there's a lot of documentation about that, or you can use your own proprietary software to do that. So let me see if this app is downloaded now. One sec. But yeah, on our YouTube page, we have a lot of instructional videos. How to remove the lenses, how to replace them, how to adjust IPD, do all types of applications. So just to reiterate some of and we also have a lot of videos about how it looks and how it feels, and basically everything a user would ask, we try to answer those in those videos. For the purpose for this thing was to answer development questions for developers and to show a couple of apps running on it. And we showed a 3D app and this image recognition app. If we can't show it this time, we'll show it in our next conference. But we definitely received a lot of good feedback from developers since we've been shipping. Android-based is really important because there's not a ton of customization needed. You can just go straight from your phone. If it's running on your Android phone, like a Note, Pixel, whatever Android phone you're using, and doesn't require like ARCore, ARKit, then it's within 20 minutes you could have it running on the X1 glasses. So it's really easy to port apps. You don't need to learn a new language from scratch. You don't need to do a lot of things. It's really easy to port apps. It has a low price point, $9.99, which is really good for a product with this field of view, the optical design, the CPU, GPU. It's a really high-end product, but we wanted to make it scalable for enterprises and businesses as well. Field of view, brightness, usability, we definitely put a lot of focus on that. So 42 degrees field of view, that's really good. You can see a lot of AR content directly in your field of view. You don't need to squint with your right or left eye. Everything's directly in your center. Connect audio, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything is in there. You can connect to your phone as a hotspot. So it's definitely really easy to use. And we're really responsive. You guys have questions, shoot it to developers at thirdagen.com and we'll respond really, really quickly. But yeah, I think this time we show the ScanEye app. If you like, we can show that ScanEye app again, and next time we can show a couple other AR apps. We wanted to show this app today because it's related to the positional tracking that a lot of developers want. So this is just kind of how you do that. So let's just go here, Google Hangouts, share the screen. So you can see this is the home screen of the glasses. So when you turn it on for the first time, after you go to the initial Bluetooth setup screen, this is the home screen you see. And then you can go over there, make it any apps you want. Any apps you download will show up in this app screen. You can drag and drop an app into your home screen. And we might make this easier to show as well, easier to use as well. And then you can just click on your app and start using it. So this Third Eye app, for example, whoops. So this is generating point clouds around edges. So say you're looking at around a room, you can generate point clouds around specific edges of the object. So if you hold a phone up, for example, it immediately recognizes that edge where the camera is, and point clouds around specific objects. And then we have stuff like a software update, which you can remotely update your X1. So we have a lot of different applications we can run. And we try to make it as user-friendly as possible. But so far, we're getting a good response, and this is definitely cutting-edge technology, and we'd like to see what developers are making. But we have a lot more documentation on our website, and our frequently asked questions page, our forum. People have asked all types of questions, and we answered many of them there. So it's definitely a great platform to make apps. We have a lot of users, a lot of developers. So as you make apps, you can submit it into our app store. You can become a reseller. You can there's a variety of ways you can get engaged, and you can start benefiting off this platform as well. You can do one of the great things about AR is you're hands-free, and because this doesn't have any attached wires, you can be hands-free and get all your content displayed there, right straight in front of your eyes. So it's a great platform, and we definitely want to see developers making as many applications as possible. So we'll be having these sessions. This is our first session. We'll be having more sessions with, next time we'll definitely have a few more apps we can show. But we have a lot of pictures, a lot of videos on our website, on our YouTube page, so feel free to check them out. And we'll be showing maybe a different app every time that shows different features of our smart glasses. So we have IMU-based apps, gaming apps, business apps, and we want to show all types of apps. So we'll have another one of these very soon. But definitely any questions you guys have, send them to us and we can respond ASAP. So thanks everyone for checking this out, and we'll continue expanding the augmented reality developer community. Awesome. Thanks guys.